My name is James Charles Magnusson. I'm named after my father. His name is Charles. Who's James? I wonder if I know. I'll have to wait for it to come back to me. Somebody, I'm sure of that. Ouch. Yeah, I'm getting bed sores here. Am I still enough in frame, Josh?
Yeah, you're in frame.
Okay, so I was born. I was born in Golden Valley, Minnesota, Glenwood Hills Hospital, just off Highway 100, and I guess it's Glenwood Boulevard, maybe. My father had not just, but a few years prior, moved down to the big city from his place of birth, which was Two Harbors, which I only learned later in life. My Uncle Paul, Dad was number 2 out of 4, Paul was number 4. He always called the place Five Bays. Now that's really weird, modifying the proper name into something like that. I learned about that fact on his part. Shit. Age 30 or better? I'd been doing goofy shit like that all my fucking life. That's fucking weird. Do 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 do. So, Dad had moved down from Two Harbors to the Twin Cities because his father, Cyrus Emmanuel Magnusson, moved from Two Harbors to, he chose to live in Richfield. Cyrus Emmanuel, my grandfather, grew up at 20th, 23rd and Park. His father, boy, I want to get the name right, but I'm not sure. But uh, there was a Paul in there somewhere and a Cyrus in there somewhere. I'm thinking, because yeah, he was Cyrus. No, he was Cyrus Emmanuel Magnusson. I got his childhood script ring that was given to him. I don't remember what occasion, but it's in my possession. Very highly cherished piece of jewelry. So Cyrus grew up down on 20th and Park vicinity. He was born in 04. And when he was born, in that part of town, there were no freeways. None of that stuff had been built yet. And Central High School was, 6-8 blocks away from his home. His father owned a grocery store, and he had a sister named Hersey, and I don't recall his mother's name, but the grocery was on the first floor, and the family lived on the second floor, and I'm sure there were stores in the basement. Was there an attic? Don't know. So Cyrus grew up down there, was a reasonably gifted student, I'm told, and he was very, very, very good at athletics. Uh, Football, and basketball. They don't play the same seasons, do they? No. Football's a
Fall sport.
yeah, and basketball's winter. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. So, my grandma Mabel, who had outlived him, she had stated to me we would dine together a lot in her later years. When she moved back from Arizona up to the Twin Cities, she had stated that when they had first met, he had lied about his identity. Now, I've seen photographs of him as a younger man. Oh, wow, that guy was handsome. As an elderly man, his hair did not turn white; it turned silver. And the complexion he had as he got old and was out in the sun, moved down to Sun City in the mid late 60s after Del Webb built the place. Um, a deep, beautiful red hue. When I'd take them out when they were up here on vacation in the like mid 70s, and I had a driver's license, I needed to go up to Southdale to Billy and Marty Tobacconists to get some pipe tobacco. I'd drive them up there. Shit, couldn't take 3 steps without a fucking crowd gathering around. Everybody knew the fucker. Everybody knew him. And strangers would mistake him as an American Indian. And Cyrus had an impish sense of humor. Oh, are you an Indian, sir? Oh yeah, I'm full-blooded Chappaquiddick Indian. Well, there ain't no such thing. Chappaquiddick's the island that Ted Kennedy crashed his car off after nailing some broad and trying to get her home on time so there wasn't going to be no trouble, and there was. So, yeah, and he didn't really care for the Kennedys, so he was having fun at them. If anybody was paying attention, knew they were from a hot rock. So, yeah, Cyrus was fun. He had a good sense of humor. So, back to growing up where he was. The children in the neighborhood where he grew up, and again, he's 10 in 1914. The black children in the neighborhood, those were the kids that had all the nice, shiny new stuff because their parents worked at the Pullman Motor Car Company. George Pullman he built the cars and hired the people that worked in the Pullman Railroad cars, which were straight up cabs, and there was also diners and sleepers and all that stuff. And yeah, if you got a job working for a Pullman company, oh man, you on easy street. So the white kids were jealous of the black children in the neighborhood. Exact opposite today, kind of like Planet of the Apes. And so there's that. Oh, absolutely. Now, another thing to keep in mind, I didn't suffer at all. I grew up at 60th, excellent question, 60th and Vincent, like, say, Crosstown and Xerxes, very close to Southdale. But I'm just in the corner of Minneapolis. I can see Edina off to my right from my front step, and down the alley straight in front of me from my front step I could see Richfield. But I went to Minneapolis schools, which I guess at the time were considered a little bit better than the norm. So, geez, beautiful place to raise children. Quiet, peaceful. I don't think she started locking our doors until I was like 14, 15 years old because it was a waste of time. I'd hop on my 10th Street bicycle all by myself and zip over to Upton Avenue, a block away, head north. I worked my way to ultimately to Lake Harriet, do a lap around Lake Harriet, that joined up to Lake Calhoun, Bidemakaska, they call it now. And between them two, there's that little Indian burial ground. That if you were a sneaky little person, you could get in there and kind of take a look around in there, which I did, and it didn't cause trouble doing so. So, yeah, the southwest corner of the Twin Cities was just, it was a dream come true. Nothing bad happened. Oh, oh boy. Yeah, there was one where, yeah, I'm sure there was numerous. It's just a matter of which one's going to float to the top. So, like all little kids, what do you want to do? What you're not supposed to do. And what's that usually entail? Something with an engine that's going to go fast and you're going to get hurt. So, um, uh, was it a go-kart or a mini bike? Go-karts are kind of big and take up space. Maybe it was a mini bike. So I think I got a mini bike from somebody. I had a paper route. I think I used paper route money to get a mini bike. And of course, I'm tooling around through the alleys and the streets in my neighborhood, and yep, that's a no-no. And you know, they're not quiet, and they're kind of tough to hide. And yeah, wouldn't you know it? Yeah, I was never good at you know sneaking and dodging the law and all that shit. So yeah, you got pinched right away, and parents were mad, and as they should have been, and yeah, you get in the house right now, and yeah, there was. I remember that one early on. Geez, well, that had to be before I had a paper out, because I don't think I had a paper out till I was like 9 or 10. There was just two of us in the family. I was born in April of 1960, and then the second child is my sister, and she was born in August of 1961. Just a little bit, just a touch more than a year after I was. Yeah, interesting. It was interesting because we were on very different paths, very divergent paths. Um, uh, Kind of from the word go, I was a bit of an egghead, and I think the reason is that when I was in first grade, my first grade teacher was effing drop dead gorgeous, well built blonde. What kid ain't gonna like that shit? So yeah, I did everything I could to get her attention, and um, ended up writing poetry because that was the assignment of the week. And I know she thought what I wrote was fantastic, and it probably was marginal, if anything. I actually was a really, really, really good reader, and that's what everyone glommed onto. And I had parents ordered like the Dr. Seuss, P.D. Eastman, all that stuff, books. I mean, everything that was under publication by the time I was 6 years old was in our mail before you know it. And yeah, I had all that stuff read immediately. Just plowing through books like it was hot knife through butter, nothing to it. So the and the positive feedback, the spark that one gets when you know your peers, your teachers, the adults in your life, your teachers' peers, when they're lighting up and you know smiling and glowing and always doing so well and always so smart, that that's very motivating, man. And yeah, I took that ball and I ran with it. And there just there weren't enough books in the world for me to read, and I just took off, and before you know it, I was the big effing bookworm in school, which worked out well because um yeah, in first grade I might have weighed 48 pounds. I was the teeniest, the slowest, the skinniest, uh, all that, not good parameters. Um, so I had to do something to stand out in the crowd, and that was it. And I didn't care as long as I had something to use to stand out. I was happy. I had something. I had something to. Yeah, this is me. I didn't want to be a left behind, and uh, I really liked that. I really liked that a lot. Uh, One little bit of a downside of that was those that did not have the ability to perform as well as I did. I didn't see in a similar light as I saw myself when I'm at the top of the heap. Yay, Jim, go, Jim. Which, yeah, there's a tiny bit of sadness in my heart over that, in that, something we were talking about briefly earlier today, which is you don't just take a whole lot of time at it. Everybody's special some way. Everybody. Everybody. You just gotta take a second, and the next thing you know, wow, well, that's a pretty cool story, dude. Wow, I didn't know that about you, dude. Whoa, you really did that? Whoa, you saw something like that? Holy mackerel. Um, yeah, we're all worth a lot. We just uh that issue where you just need to slow down for just a second and take a look and see what it is that is there that is going to make you go, oh, geez, that's cool. Oh, too self-absorbed. Their world's everything, and it ain't. It fucking ain't. It really may have taken longer than that, Josh, because when it came to reading books, I was not into fiction, even though uh, excuse me, nonfiction. That's imaginary shit, right? Yeah, I wasn't into that, even though that's the one where, oh boy, the sky's the limit. You can dream of whatever you want, and that's what there is because the author said so. Um, yeah, I was not on that wavelength. Let's see. Hold on a second. 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. I gotta do that. Okay. Uh. 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 So. Um. Uh. Shit. What was I? What was the question again? Oh. Okay. So. Uh. Uh. Fiction. Yeah, you can get lost like crazy in fiction because it's all make believe. And it's not like I just didn't have the time or the effort or the ability or the desire to make up worlds and just escape and run away and create. But turns out I didn't do that. So what I did more so of was real live uh, 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 reading and writing of nonfiction, real things that did happen. I was more interested in, especially history. History fascinated me. History just blew me away, mostly because, um, uh, yeah, it's kind of a puzzle in that. Oh my God, there's a lot of gaps between the start, which, well, when really was it? I don't know if we know. And can we check that for us? Because I got a refill. So, how, who blew the starting gun? When was it? Wasn't there more than one starting gun? Well, yeah, there was. Uh, uh, so, uh, I guess I liked nonfiction because it did tell a story of us, of humanity, of the people that are here on the earth today. As a matter of fact, I got a tab on my phone right now that's open in Wikipedia. The title of which is Early Human Migration. I'm absolutely fascinated with the story of, okay, just where were we? And nobody was standing there with a notebook writing this shit down. But exactly where were we when we were standing up and decided, oh, look at me. I can think. I am me. I can determine my own fate. That tiger's going to bite my head off. Um, things of that nature. And, and from that point, there's like, shoot, 220, 200, I don't know, million years ago. We're not really sure. Like I said, nobody chronicled all that.
Yeah.
But it's a long answer to where were you born, ain't it? Oh, um, uh, geez. Women I've met from overseas, without a doubt, have no particular issue with Anglos at all. But uh, what I have found over time, Josh, is one of my degrees is in sociology, and from birth until we're adults living our lives according to the way society tells us we should. And are they right? Who knows? Um, uh, Once you've become socialized, well, then and it's not like today here, and then that one you do the next thing. It's not exactly like that, but then one begins to, interact with their peers, and you go through all those rites of passage, and get drunk and hit your head, and crash your first fucking car, and all that kind of shit, right? And uh, uh, so the thing is, from my knowledge, and I ain't done nothing but accept a diploma. from my knowledge of my learnings in the field of sociology, it's clear that every country, every state, every generation, everywhere you go, uh, uh, folks are socialized a little bit differently. It's not all the same. And I don't like the idea, and I hear people use it a lot. Well, you've been brainwashed. Fuck you, man. Sorry. That's not the right way to look at it, buddy. I got a good mind. I got a good brain. I know logic. I know reason. You give me a bunch of facts. I'll examine them and I'll decide what I think makes sense. Well, I could be wrong, but let me make my own mistakes. And so what I've seen over time, Josh, is the results of folks being socialized here, there, and everywhere. Oh, that's a Beatles song. It's different from place to place. It's very different from place to place. Oh, my ex-wife Julia. My ex-wife Julia. And it was pretty goddamn instant, I'll tell you, Josh. It was funny. I gotta tell you this. I'm sitting at home. It's late August of 1986. A woman named Julia Cristina da Silva wants to get in touch with me. She, unbeknownst to me, had left Brazil April, May, a few months prior, with my name, address, and telephone number tucked into her wallet. And when the phone rang, she was on the other line. She was at a friend's apartment where they both live in. There was like 3-4 Brazilian girls living at this place. And they had a party line, more than one telephone in the building. This is 1986, no cell phones or any of that. So I'm sitting on the couch, probably not sober, Josh, and the phone rings. I'm pretty sure I was listening to either the Hoodoo Gurus or Judas Priest, and I turned the volume down a little bit, and the woman on the phone announces herself. Hello, my name is Derry Mendonça. I'm calling on behalf of my cousin Julia, who just moved here from Brazil. Oh, do tell. She says, now Julia does not know much English. I grew up here in America, so I have some knowledge, and she asked me to call you because you're the president of the caving club. Yes, I am. She says, and Julia is very, very curious to be able to go on a caving trip with you folks because her buddy in town, she might have mentioned the city, I don't recall right off the bat, but it comes out later in the conversation for sure. She says her buddy tells her that your location is pretty close to the Black Hills out in the Dakotas. Well, I said, yes, that's correct. And she says, Derry says, yeah, and Julie would love to go on a trip to the Black Hills. She'd love to go caving with you guys. And I was maybe a little bit preoccupied. Maybe the brats I just grilled were sitting there getting cold. I'm not really sure exactly. Yeah, we got a microwave, but I don't know, maybe starting to feel a little bit pressed for time, which is not the right thing to do. So, Derry asked, well, when are you folks going to be going caving next? And this was like a Monday night. The night before, I had just gotten back from a 3-day weekend down in Fillmore County with our annual cave convention. It's like, well, you just missed it. It was local. We didn't go out west, nothing like that. And I said, yeah, well, we had our big wing ding. And there were a lot of caving trips. You could have seen some really cool stuff. Not your only chance. Um, and so what's going to happen is now that cooler weather's showing up, we are probably going to be doing some work out in the Black Hills on behalf of the National Park Service because they don't have enough manpower and they got more labor needs than they can cover themselves. And I can hear in the background, she's excited. Oh boy, oh boy. So I tell them the best thing to do is then to come down to our next caving club meeting, which would be, when were we holding them? Third Thursday of the month, was it? Let's say that. So I said, you come down to room 100 Pillsbury Hall on the third Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock, and bring yourself your notebook and anything else you want to bring, and we'll get things moving right along. And she's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, cool. See ya. Hung up the phone, lit up my joint, and ate my dinner. And that was that. And turned the MTV back on. So, well, I think I was smoking a bongs. Either way, big deal. So,
So she must have came down to North Dakota with you? Or?
well, it was actually South Dakota. So the following month, yeah, let's move it along. The following month, it's Thursday night, or were they Wednesdays? I think they were Wednesdays. Jeez, I'm having a hard time remembering stuff.
But we get to go down. We're going down.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. So I'm let's just say Wednesday. I'm down there. I get there early, and getting the game board set and all that. And turns out we got some kid from Germany that's an out of towner that shows up. Okay, well, I learned German in high school. I didn't learn Portuguese in high school. I learned German. And here's the guy who speaks German. He's there first, and we start talking, and he grabs my hand. We introduce one another, and we're getting introduced, and this, that, and the other thing, and uh, 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 then I started filling him in on what's going to go on, and the deal was, I don't think I explained so thoroughly when I was on the phone recapping on the phone with Julia and Derry, which is really Diddy in Portuguese, and it's really Julia in Portuguese. So I tell him that in the previous winter, so that would have been like October, November, up until like March, April prior, was when I had gone out and done some pioneering work with, or in the MSS's name, to show the folks that were operating the National Park Service and had this project they needed done, which required a lot of hands on deck, experienced people with good judgment and good caving skills that weren't going to cause any trouble and get things done. Chop chop. So me and a couple of friends of mine went out there on a couple of trips over the winter and satisfied the hell out of them, and they were really, 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 really happy. So we pretty much had a deal and agreement that that they wanted us out there to get going and do stuff. Yeehaw, mofo. So this fella's there, yakking away with him, and uh, then Julia shows up, so I'm trying to give her some attention, and well, turns out she's an attractive gal. So, that always helps. And comes 7 o'clock, they call the meeting to order and yada 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 yada, a little this, a little that. And who's interested in going, how many people want to do it, who's able to drive, how many people we got, trying to shake out, what's everybody's schedules look like, who wants to leave when, who's willing to piss on their bellies and leave, Thursday afternoon or Wednesday night or whatever the fuck. Uh, no, but by the time I got home, I was in love with her. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, we arranged loosely. This is, no, that's the September meeting? Or was it the October meeting? Maybe it was the September meeting. And then at the October meeting, we arranged something, local here in Fillmore County. And maybe she did something underground. The Kraut, I don't think he stayed around much because he was, transient. And so now here it comes October, and we had, this car's, who's going to be in this car? Who's going to be in that car? Who's going to be in that car? Here's where we start. Here's where we finish. They had places for us to stay, accommodations for us, rustic, but not outside. Over there at the Wind Cave National Monument. And have you ever met Greg Hudeman, skydiver from Skydive Twin Cities?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and I are big, 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 big cavers already together. Had done a whole bunch of stuff. And usually it was, me and him and Jeff, and, let's ditch these guys because they're dweebs, that kind of deal. So, uh, we, we all get on out there. And I don't know. I'm not really sure what day I got there. He had just purchased a brand new Toyota SR5 4-wheel drive pickup truck with a topper, stretch cab. I mean, just nice. So yeah, he wanted to show that thing off, put some miles on that, and it was, just a effing fun road trip. And I was pouring concrete at the time. I had just gotten laid off, so I'm looking at, well, when the snow's melted and the ground's firm enough for a mud truck to drive across it, that's when I go back to work. When's that going to be? Shoo! Who knows? Long time from now. How can I spend all those unemployment checks? Let me see if I can figure that out. Well, when we got back, I dropped her off at her place, and I swear, Josh, the next evening I was back at her place, in her apartment. So what's going on? How you guys doing today? Getting to know all her roomies, and the place is triple booked. And I got nothing to do because I'm laid off, and uh, I'm being Mr. Nice Guy, sleeping on the floor. And when she gets up, I drive her over to Lincoln Dell where she's doing salad prep work. Yeah, don't tell anybody, but she's breaking the rules. And then go back, do the dishes, lay on the couch for a while, wait for the phone to ring. Uh, uh, then run back over to Lincoln Dell, pick her up, drop her back home, drop her back off at her apartment, then go back home and sleep the rest of the day of the way. And later on in the afternoon, she calls, and then I'm back over there getting to know her and her friends from Brazil that she's living with, and they're making dinner and shit, and I'm getting to know all these people, which is it's kind of a funny way of putting things because, well, I didn't speak Portuguese, but we were doing the best we can, and I had, well, Portuguese ain't German by any means, but I had learned another language before in my life, so I did, in a sense, understand the paradigm of conveying your thoughts and your feelings with different words and grammar and stuff than a guy might have been used to when they were younger. So I'm doing my best. I'm trying to hang with them, and they were really nice. And they could see that I had a kind heart, and my my gestures were pure, my motives were nice, and all I really wanted to do was, make friends with these guys and have a decent time, and learn a thing or three, and you know just hang out, mellow, and be kind and nice. And it was a lot of fun that winter was. I had like little or no money, and it worked out okay. That that winter, oh, I got a bad hurts when I swallow issue over here. It's been that way since surgery. Uh, that winter, I ended up having some difficulties as a result of whatever had come about from last spring when I was drawing unemployment then, and the result of whatever happened that winter, I just don't remember, such that, well, I was I was I had done things incorrectly, and I was looking at a serious out of compliance issue, and I was not eligible nor capable to collect Social Security, unemployment. Yeah, thanks. And I'm kind of languishing there, and uh, not getting anything done. And I'm not evil. I'm not an extortionist, but I had just nothing in my favor, nothing on my behalf, and well, I got kind of tough, going home and staying at staying at mom's house was okay, you know. I could eat over there, and she'd give me gas money if I needed it, but all my new friends were over there. So, uh, I just kind of muddled through that winter, and we began to develop feelings for one another, and it comes out after talking with her that, well, she had a 6-month travel visa, and it was going to expire in not too long. And I did not like the way that sounded. So, at Stuart Anderson's one night while the Bengals were playing, Dance Like an Egyptian, was that the name of the song?
But who were they?
The Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah.
Yeah. Dance Like an Egyptian. While that song was playing on the loudspeakers, I asked her to marry me, and she said yes, and here we are. So we got married in my mother's living room on January 30th, 1987. Well, everybody was. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about that. They could see that Julia was a woman of serious substance, integrity, honor, bearing. Yeah, she was no gold digging. Are they coming? Quick, in your pocket. No, thief. No, 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 not at all. Honest as a day is long, if not more. Uh, and so it was pretty damn lightning quick. And we ended up getting divorced in uh, August, December 1970, something like that. But 20 years later. 20 years later.
Or 2007?
2007, yeah. Yeah. And I don't have any regrets.
What would be some advice for people that are in relationships? What would you give them for advice?
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh. I don't really want to give them any advice. Not because I'm a dipshit. Not because I don't know anything. Not because I'm no good. Or any of that silly sentimental stuff. Each situation is different, man. And, I don't know if I could have given myself worthwhile advice then based on what I know now. I can tell you that if I had it all to do over again, I know it sounds silly, but I don't think I'd change a damn thing. And the reason is Natalia and Eli. Simple as that. The children. they wouldn't be here had we not had the relationship that Julie and I have. Oh yeah, yeah, it's just crazy. The little yeah, I'm sitting at my aunt's kitchen table in 3208 Idaho in November of 1980. Her phone rings. I'm sitting there burping because I just had a big piece of pumpkin pie. I might have some strawberry rhubarb pie too. I was hungry. Only Joyce comes back in the living room. Jimmy, it's for you. Well, who the hell knows I'm here? So I walk back in the kitchen and I grab the phone. It's Dave Madsen. Reader, you got a flashlight? Well, yeah. You got some boots? Yeah. You got a helmet? Yeah. We'll grab an old pair of underwear and a knife. And we'll stop at the liquor store and get some beer. Be to my house as soon as you can. What? We're going caving. Yeah, we go caving. I become the president of the club. I was reading the Lord of the Rings at the time. I happened to be at the passage where they're going through the mines of Moria. Just when we're in the cave that night, it's like nice stop at the on Monday after the holiday break. I stop at the professor's desk up there after class. So I was in the caves in St. Paul this weekend. Where do I go to learn about caves? Right here on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Really? That's all it took, man. That's all it took. Crazy. There's no coincidence, man. Just none.
That's cool.
Just none. I know some of my favorite stories. Julia coming here with my name in her pocket. Come on. Why my name? There's 300 million people in the country. Two children. The eldest is Natalia. She celebrated her 33rd birthday the day Megan Lunson brought me down here and helped me get admitted on the 21st of February. Uh, she tells me she's due round about the end of July. She's managing a division of operational efforts of one sort or another, not my gig, at Wagner's Greenhouse on 60th and Penn, like Penn and Crosstown. And if you were a child sleeping in that greenhouse, that's where you lived, you'd be going to the elementary school I went to when I was a boy. So super close. And as a matter of fact, the home that I lived in when I was a boy, that's where she took her first steps ever in her life.
So
Natalia, she's the eldest.
What is the best thing about her?
I'm sure I did, but she's so damn resilient, so strong. Also kind of headstrong, which turns out to be a nice trait every once in a while. Sometimes that motherfucker needs a knee to the balls, right? Yeah, you're not gonna blow smoke up her tailpipe. No way. Yeah. So there's Natalia. No real regrets. No, she's gonna take care of herself just fine. Yeah. I like to describe her as just about every parent's dream child come true. Yeah, not difficult at all. And then the second child. So Natalia was born here in America. As I said, February 21st, 1991, at St. John's Hospital in Maplewood. And then in April of 92, Think. 91. God damn it. 4 years old. 91, 2, 3, 4. 97. Shit. Natalia's born in 93. Natalia's born in 93. April 21st of 97. 4 years later, Julia and Natalia pack up all their belongings, hop on an airplane, and fly to Brazil. Because Julia was not happy with our marriage. I do not fault her for that. And she also was not happy with the employment prospects that she was encountering here in the United States. Julia is a driven individual. If you're standing between her and her goal, you're going to be buying a coffin any second now. She is, oh, yeah, unstoppable. She wanted to manage a research lab. She wanted to conduct research. She wanted to manage people. She knew she could do it, and she knew she could do it better than anybody else. Well, she knew she'd have the opportunity down there in Brazil, and she was right. Surprise. So in 19... So they lived there from 97. Shit. When they moved down. What did I just say? Yeah, April of 97. And then those, well, the three of them, there was one more of us then, came back to the States in come on, think. 2004, July of 04. Is that what it was? August. No, I came back in August. They came back in June of 04. So they go down in early June of, no, late April. Geez, late April 27. 97. Gosh, Josh, thanks for being my tracker. So my altimeter, yeah. So I had already been living at my sister's place since I got the boot in October 97. So no, October 96. I've been out there with my sister in Bloomingtown since October 96. Here it is. God damn it.
April 97.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Right on cue. And I know it's gonna happen, and I call Brian Savage, a friend of mine. I was plugged into Greg's circle of friends because I'd known Greg forever and hanging out with those guys for a long time. When Julie leaves, now I got all this time in my hands. When we were separated, that is. So I'm seeing those guys a lot, and I contact him, Brian, on Saturday, April 27th, 97. When I leave, when the plane takes off, I can't drive back home and look at all my pictures of Natalia and sit there in that basement room all by my lonesome. Can I come out and spend the night with you on the balance of the weekend? Sure, Jim, of course. So that's what I do. And I go out there, and I had a pretty nice, mellow weekend. The youngest is Eli. So Eli was born in Brazil. So after being separated for a while, boy, it might even have been that same very first summer of 97, when on a phone call, Julia asked me if I would be willing to come down and give it a shot at reconciling. I don't remember if it was 97 or 98, but I said, well, absolutely. I had no idea what I was going to do. You know, a slack fuck like me, was going to find an easy job doing nothing, keeping my head above water, and hardly having to do anything and living the hipster's life? Fuck no. So, I don't know, but, you know, there was the woman I love and the daughter I'd been missing every fucking night, so you know, I'm going to lie and say, yeah, I can do it. Oh boy, so she asked me to move down there. Oh, wow, was that an ordeal to get, you know, yeah. I had to give legal permission for Julia to leave the country with our child, and I'm not present. That was work. Holy balls. Now I got to try and get permanent resident alien status for myself so I can go down there. And it's kind of an involved story. If you can stick a marker in the and hit pause,
Yeah.
it deserves to come back to you and get due diligence and good justice to this one. Moving down to Brazil required me to have a green card. If we're in my apartment, I think in 5 minutes I can present it to you. And it ain't permanent resident alien status is good for 9 years. Them line sacks of shit. God, was it difficult to obtain. So, they're very, 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 very strict. Very strict. Their country, they couldn't be that way. You know, U.S. thinks they're the tail that wags the dog, and they you know, throw their weight around to, you know, other countries, and you know what they do? Well, fuck you, we can do that too. Other countries.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. You know, why do we gotta be such dicks? Because we're America. There's quite a list of things that the Brazilian authorities need in order to evaluate, contemplate, analyze, and use. Yeah, the list has got a lot of things on it. There's a number of them. Falling off a rock, falling off a rock, falling off a rock. Hit the button on the Xerox machine. No big deal. Talk to him. I'll write the letter. He'll sign it. Da 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 da. Everything's looking good, and then I get to one where I poop my pants. Okay, so there's an item on the list. Yeah, I need my local police chief to say he's squeaky clean. I'd let him marry my daughter. So, yeah, I'm melodramatic and funny. Well, I know about the funny part. So, when the time came that Julia had asked, yeah, you're dragging your feet. We need to be separated. Pack your bags, and you move in with your sister. I've already talked to her. It was the 10th of October, like Columbus Day, so it was easy. She was out with the girls, and you know it was gonna be no in and out and in and out, and you know side eye and all that shit. Because I didn't have no side eye for her. She's a wonderful human being. Okay, so here's the problem. Your typical Brazilian. Jesus Christ, Josh. personal hygiene and cleanliness around the house, you wouldn't believe it. The average American home, they would run away. It's not going to pass muster. And Julia, she's cut above all the rest in what she demands. So when we're talking through what's going to happen here, every other weekend wasn't enough for me. I love Natalia. I wanted to have her every other weekend and every Wednesday night. Pick her up from daycare after school Wednesday, after my work Wednesday, bring her home, feed her, take care of this, that, and the other thing. Sit there and watch Tex Avery cartoons, left till we pee our pants, go to bed, bring her to daycare in the morning, and pack lunch and everything, and Julie will be proud of me, and Natalia will be happy. So she agreed to that. Wonderful. She's a reasonable individual. She really, really is. So it's that first Wednesday now. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Ty's going to come over and see me. I've been in the house for a few days. And my bathroom downstairs got a stand-up shower. Just a lip like that to get into. No big deal. And I cleaned it well enough. Julie would be pleased with it. And so I go to pick her up at daycare, drive through rush hour traffic down to my sister's place, West Bush Lake Road and Old Chingaby Road, and park outside the condo and run her inside. She'd already been there before, because we're brother and sister. Shit. So, get her settled in, get her something to eat. We're sitting there watching TV. She likes Tom and Jerry. She likes this. She likes that. Like any kid. She loves laughing. She's so much fun when she was a toddler. God damn it. So, yeah, and you met me. I'm a fucking goofy bitch. So it worked out perfect, man. She had to have a fun childhood. Because I'm nuts. So, it's like, okay, time's moving on here. We're gonna have to get you take a shower so you can get you dried off and clean and ready for bed, and get you ready for school in the morning to get you dressed and all that happy stuff. Okay, Dad. So, get her in the towel, wrap her up in the towel, and put her flip flops on, and walk upstairs into my sister's bathroom. I open the door, and I'm looking around. And I'm like, Jesus. If Julia even sees us here right now, my ass is grass. This place looks like shit. Damn it. So, yeah. I'm not putting her in this tub here. There's no way. I'm not doing it. I don't know what kind of forensic test Julie can run, but I just know she's gonna know that she was in a dirty ass tub. So I'm not gonna do it. So we walk back downstairs, and I don't know what to do. Well, what I should have did was grab a pair of swim trunks and put them effers on and got in the shower with her. Well, that's not what I did. We both took a shower together. I didn't see a problem with it. Oh, it sure could be. So, everything was fine. She gets clean, dry ourselves off, and we're sitting there watching a few more cartoons, sitting there arm in arm, cuddly, and she's just all lovey-dovey and a sweet little kid. She starts getting sleepy. I make her a bottle. She likes that kind of stuff. We did that with both kids. Probably longer than we're supposed to, but ain't nothing wrong with that. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I don't have any pull-up pants. And I'm like, oh, Natalia, I need you to do some really good work for me tonight and not go pee in the bed. She says, oh, I will, Dad. I'll be fine. Don't you worry. Like a trooper. Nothing happened. So I take her to school. Everything's fine. It's the weekend. I don't know if that was my weekend or not, but time passes, and then I'm at work, I don't know, maybe the following week. Gosh, I almost had the guy's name. Shit, I wish I could remember. I had it written down, committed to memory. Well, I don't have it now. So, I'm sitting at my desk, processing mortgage loans, working my ass off, and the phone rings, and I see a number that's not any of the typical numbers I'm going to see, or a borrower number, or anything like that. I'm like, Oh, I think caller ID showed Bloomington Police Department, and I'm like, say what? So I answer the call, and it's the Bloomington private detective, or a detective on the Bloomington Police Force. Is this James Magnusson? Yes, it is. Well, they had a bunch of questions for me. Is this your birth date? Is this your address? Is this this? Is that that? Yes, 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 yes. Well, he tells me they got Natalia in a fucking room somewhere under the fucking bare bulb, drawing pictures and telling stories. And what the fuck are you doing that for, Roscoe? Well, she was at school and talking about your bling bling. I don't know what the fuck word she used, and so now I'm under suspicion of being a fucking pedophile. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I was on my cell phone. I got out in the fucking hallway in the goddamn staircase as quick as I fucking could. So none of that side of the conversation took place with prying ears nearby. But I'm like, there's got to be some mistake, dude. And I explained the circumstances from my point of view. What's it? Contextual situation. What what things are like in that society. What things are like here. What I had done, which was nothing but look out for the child's welfare, and it wasn't like I could say, yeah, he wasn't buying it. He was giving me blowback. No one like that. But I'm like, geez, this don't sound good. This don't sound good. This don't sound good. So he's writing down notes. He got the whole thing, which is silly because he's recording the whole thing on audio tape. Yeah. And all that down there, and I'm like, man, let me out of this cage, man. I'm gonna bop you one, because I ain't done nothing wrong. So the phone call ends, and I get to hop in my car and drive home and feel real good about myself, which I really wasn't. So I got home, and there's a few more angles to the story which will not be discussed while there's electricity rolling.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a minute. And, well, after the kind of whirlwind settles in my mind and I calm myself down, the following, a subsequent workday, I talked to, thank goodness, the lawyer that I worked with when I was at Metropolitan Federal Bank. I was a mortgage loan processor there, and ultimately a mortgage loan underwriter. Well, at one point when there was a lot of reorganization in the bank, well, and I guess honestly a little bit of disorganization in the bank, and yada 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 yada, and I'm at one point assigned to work in their bankruptcy and foreclosure department. That's when when we're extending huge amounts of money to borrowers to purchase a home, and then they paying us. Well, guess who owns the home now? The bank. We're not a homeowner. That's a burden on us. That don't help us any. So, no, that's another issue, and we got to deal with that. So,
I want to make sure we're still on track.
Oh yeah, this is Eli. Oh yeah,
Okay.
This is crucial.
Okay.
Absolutely. Remember the letter from the sheriff? Well, all this stuff is the hugest roadblock you could ever imagine. I'm effed like a pretzel right now. They got my nuts in a vice with Andre the Giant holding the vice. I don't like that idea. So, thanks for the reminder, April 27, 97. So, next time I'm at work, well, geez, I think at this point in time, am I doing that kind of work? I don't know what my duties were at the point in time when I'm having to deal with this stuff, but yeah, I go to my Rolodex, I find my info that leads me to Terry McLuhan's telephone number. She was a lawyer like 3 buildings away from where I worked in downtown St. Paul. And her and her PA, or PL, paralegal, oh geez, the nicest, most efficient, hard-working gals I've ever had the pleasure to work with. So I give her a call and I tell her I got a hot potato. She said, okay, lay it on me. Said I'll be there in a few minutes, not on the phone. So I go and visit her. It's the first time I'd seen her in like 3 years. She's drop dead gorgeous. Lucky me, has nothing to do with anything. She was willing to do me a favor because I guess Metropolitan Federal Bank paid really well. So, yeah, she didn't charge me a penny. I lay out the whole story, what went on. She had a bunch of questions for me, actually not that many. Yeah, she's aces and knows exactly what she's doing. And says, all right, me and Peggy will take it from here. Peggy, I think, was her paralegal's name. I'm not entirely sure. But I go, all right, you got my number, right? Oh, I'll do that. She says, I asked, you got my number, right? She says, oh, I certainly do. I go, all right, I ain't got nothing to worry about. So I go back to work. I don't know. A month or so later, I get a letter in the mailbox at the townhouse over there in Bloomingtown at my sister's place. It's from McLuhan, Stapleton and McCall, LLP, LLC, LL, whatever. And she grabbed the fast ring. She won. She got it. That was clear. So I requested that letter from the police chief, and I gathered that shit up, and I sent that shit to Brazil faster than you could say Jack Robinson. And it took about a month or so, and I got an answer back, and I was in Lake Flint. So I was able to go to Brazil. And that December, we had another child. December 2000. So I was like a year out of when I first got down there the second time to live. I was so happy. I was so fucking happy.
So you get to be a dad again.
Yeah. So Eli, God, that was an ordeal. Nerve-wracking as fucking hell. Eli was born Anna Gabriela. She was born female. I don't think she felt like a girl for one instant in her entire life. And I will not dispute that. I'm not them. You tell me. Are you warm? Are you cold? Do you like sausage or do you want some spinach? I don't know. I'll trust you. One thing that I am very okay with is that the youngest child is not trying to live a lie. Oh, they all think I am, so I better do what they expect. Screw that. Be who you are. Don't try to satisfy anyone and live up to their norms or society's norms. You are who you are. And that's all there is to it. Done. Be that. Anything else? That's how I feel. Wow. That, their life is theirs to live and to lead any way they so choose, as long as they're being wise in their decisions and not making risky choices. I'll say there's really no such thing as doing something wrong, and they both seem to have pretty darn good judgment. One thing that's really impressed the hell out of me, I mean, it's almost like any advice I'm going to potentially offer them is a waste of my breath because when I was a youngster, Josh, I was the, whoa, really? That's cool. Wow. I was the gee whiz. I never seen that before. I was a kid. You could pull the wool over their eyes in a fucking heartbeat. Those two, never. Ain't happening. I don't know how they got to that point so fast in life, but they did. So I'm just going to let them do whatever they want because it's probably going to be right. Yeah, watching their behavior. Oh, yeah. Well, I do think that they probably think I'm too indulgent with regard to me having fun with uh, uh, yeah, anything that happens at the drop zone, but not everything that happens at the drop zone. I got some sense. I'm not gonna hurt myself. But yeah, they're sometimes they're a little disappointed or appear to be a little disappointed in some of the decisions I make. Um, you know, uh, I think that's probably the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess the reason I say that is, I just I just want them to I just want them to what love me and respect me and understand me. And the thing is, that's really that's really kind of an unrealistic expectation because our ability as human beings to understand another human being is so severely limited. We have it's one of the worst traits we have is to be able to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and understand them. We're really bad at that. I've read a lot about that issue.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They've lived through the life that they lived through. They have the goals and ideals and experiences that they possess, which are a function of, yes, what they've learned, where they've been, what they've seen. And it's different than than the same with respect to me. So for them to be on the same page as me, that's not going to happen often. And it's okay. It's okay. We're a family. We laugh together. We love together. And I'm good right there.
Because I think what's been amazing is through this journey, have you what have you learned about this cancer thing and like even your resilience and survival.
Well, I can tell I surprised the shit out of myself. You know, uh, there was a time like shit, like right around, I guess, Thanksgiving era, where, okay, I present like this, I present like that, and this is what I got here, this is what I got there. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and they're gonna have surgery, and they're gonna get the cancer out, and 1, 2, 3, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, and everything's gonna be great, and it'll be spring. Oh, has the MO changed a million fucking times? Yeah, moving target. Jesus Christ, nothing stay the same for a fucking second.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of that where here I am, and they said after X, Y, and Z, we're going to be right here, and that's going to happen, and this is going to happen, and here we go. And I'm gaming it forward. Well, I can do that, and I understand this, and oh yeah, it's going to be okay. Well, it's kind of like my life, you know.
Yeah.
What did I expect was going to happen when I was 16? Well, I can tell you none of it turned out. Not a fucking thing. And here's the interesting part of it all. Who fucking cares? I like what happened. It's okay. I'm just fine with what happened. I don't want to go back and change anything. No way.
Yeah.
You just gotta be ready and duck before it hits you.
And so you're saying, well, I mean, you've been adapting.
Yeah.
It's just been this thing where it's like, so even right now, you're taking the same thing that you learned in first grade from when you were sitting there reading and being this
Oh
weird
yeah.
48-pound kid that
Yeah.
can't fight, that can't play sports. You get on the books, you're reading it, and then that's your thing, okay? And then
Yep.
16 years old happens.
And there's another thing, and another thing. It's just, yeah, life's an iterative process, Josh. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
No way around it.
And
And
so,
and I'm happy. I'm happy. It keeps you fresh.
yeah.
It keeps you fresh. You know, like Carrie and I were talking, if the whole world was filled with people just like me, oh, I'd have to shoot myself. How boring would that fucking be?
Right.
It's
Right.
like, no. Yeah.
Would you be getting an ash dive, or what are you doing?
Oh, when I've told the kid this years ago, oh, fuck yeah. I'm getting cremated and spread, yeah. Without a fucking doubt.
Yeah.
Without a fucking doubt. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Cool.
I think Tali knows that. I know Greg knows that. Yeah, no. Ain't no other option, Josh.